From the Grand Coulee Dam where the waters run down.
Radiant team, Baron.
It's game 2 time! They forgot their banner, but it's the Big Meat Squad up against Ground Pound. I'm Zeron for terrible damage in this Reddit Dota 2 League Week 3 official match. Big Meat Squad taking down a big win in Game 1, looking to make it 2 here in Game 2 of this best of 2 during the season. First bands coming up. We've got Io banned out by the Big Meat Squad, and then Alchemist. We saw him used to full effect in Game 1 from Big Meat Squad, going to be banned first off by Ground Pound. Darkseer then banned out. And the most common ban out that would be coming up here would be Batrider, still available. Saw on TI3 100% pick ban rate. And there he is. So, first pick is available there to Ground Pound. Got a plethora of options available. And we'll see what they end up going in for. Got Weaver, Visage. Pretty much, you got your pick of the litter in terms of supports outside of Io. And it is really nice that the field has opened up quite a bit in terms of the top tier heroes. Certainly Io and Batrider are the big standouts, but after that, you know, it's not quite as clear cut. Darkseer is always popular, but not a must ban. There's the Lifestealer. He's another one that's been very strong for quite a while now. He's up there as well. Nature's Prophet, another one that's up there. So you've got a lot of options. It's not quite necessarily completely obvious out of the first 4 bans who's the top pick to come out. Nature's Prophet, Leshrac. We saw Leshrac make a lot of use from Big Meat Squad. Splitters in combination between their various stuns with Vortex, with the Unstable Concoction, with the Impale. Set up a lot of kills. Nature's Prophet was picked up by Ground Pound in Game 1. This time Big Meat Squad going to take the Prophet and see what they can do with it. And gonna go right away with the Puck here from Ground Pound as we go into the second phase of bans. That means most likely we're going to see an Outworld Devourer ban out. We saw him banned out in the first 4 bans in Game 1. Makes it through the first 4 in Game 2, but now with that Puck pick, normally don't want to have those intelligence mids up against an OD. So would not be surprised to see that as their ban right now. But they're going to take their time, going to think it through. Gyrocopter they're going to start off with. Yeah, they've already got the Lifestealer and his initiation in Puck. Can blink in with the Puck, come out of Infest along with the Waning Rift. And that's a whole lot of burst immediately. Throw an orb on top of it. And not a whole lot of heroes going to be able to survive through that in the mid game. And then Naga Siren. So Outworld Devourer is going to be available here for Big Meat Squad if they want to go for it. However, with the Lifestealer, what they could do if Ground Pound does face up against that is go aggressive tri lane, put Puck in a solo safe lane scenario, and grab another mid that would be a bit more favorable in the matchup with, say, a Lone Druid or a Razor.
Remaining.
The only thing we know right now, really, out of the Big Meat Squad is that they've got that in all likelihood they've got a support in Leshrac. That's the most we can say. Nature's Prophet could be a solo safe laner, but so we don't know if they want to go aggressive once again. Can be a little more difficult when up against a Lifestealer as opposed to an anti-mage, which they saw Ground Pound run in Game 1. Gonna take the Lone Druid. So this makes their lanes a little interesting. If they go, this pretty much means either a mid or a solo safe lane. Actually, it's not really clear what they may do with their laning. Is the Big Meat Squad. They got a lot of options. They've got 2 offlaners in the Prophet and the Druid. So you could put Druid as the safe lane carry, and Prophet could be off lane. You could put Prophet mid. You could put Druid mid. You could put Druid off lane, Prophet mid. A lot of options right now in terms of that combination, which you don't see a whole lot. Windrunner now picked up by Ground Pound, another hero with a lot of utility, and then Enigma have picked up the pace here in this draft, back and forth pretty quickly now. And Enigma, we're going to see if that's another offlaner in Enigma. Most likely now going to be the 4 role Enigma, with Leshrac going to be the primary support. Enigma going to chip in here and there, but going to hang out in the jungle most likely. And that means that their lanes are going to be a little weak early on, and that means an aggressive tri-lane could be very strong for Ground Pound if they want to go in for it.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Windrunner's role is not clear right now. That could be a off-lane Windrunner, but it could also be a 4 support. Not seeing now the bans make sense out of Big Meat Squad removing the Rubik to allow them to feel safe in picking Enigma, and then Keeper of the Light. Often you just don't want to deal with him, but with the pushing power between Nature's Prophet, Leshrac, Lone Druid, and Enigma, they just don't want to deal with it. What I think would be fun, though I don't expect it to happen, would be to create an aggressive tri-lane Lifestealer Windrunner +1, grab Tinker here, and solo the Puck and the Tinker, because this is a clear push lineup, and that's what they're going to be relying heavily upon. So they're going to want to have something to deal with that. But an alternative route, would also love to see Earthshaker, Eidolons, Treants, a bear on top of it. Fun times to be an Earthshaker. Instead, going to go in for a Jakiro. Right now is Ground Pound. Last bands coming up.
Radiant team. Baron.
Ground Pound most likely going to be looking to grab another support, but that's not necessarily the case. Could be another offlaner. Alina going to be the ban from Big Meat Squad. And finally, Ground Pound going to close it out with their final ban. Before we see how exactly Big Meat Squad wants to round out their own team. Most likely looking at a mid. But as mentioned, the plethora of off-laners that can potentially do other roles makes it unclear. There's Death Prophet. This is so all-in in terms of push. There is no ambiguity in terms of what Big Meat Squad wants to do here. The thing is, though, as I mentioned, their lanes are a little weak right now with the Druid, Enigma, and Nature's Prophet. They just don't have a whole lot of... Each of those can be very good solo laners, but when they're all on the same team, that pushes one into the jungle, and not a whole lot of laning presence when you put it all together. Weaver going to be the last pick. So that is a support Windrunner. Puck in towards mid, off lane on the Weaver. We'll see how it plays out for them. There's some anti-pushing ground pound, but will it be enough? Can they make something happen earlier on? That's what we get in the game to see.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And we're inside the game. First up, the Dire will be ground pound. Sorry, it's actually Big Meat Squad on the Dire. I'm mixing up my teams. Big Meat Squad, first out of the gate. We've got Wonder Bread actually heading up towards that top lane. Followed up by Elita on the Leshrac once again. Big AT this time playing Lone Druid. And we've got the Enigma played by Rubex Cube. Finally, we have the Nature's Prophet. And that is LPNF. Radiant. There's ground pound. Coffee out towards mid on the puck. Up top, the off lane, Aoika will be playing. Weaver down bottom. We've got the defensive tri lane. First up, we've got Tankin on the Lifestealer. Joined up by Kodiak on the Windrunner. And then we've got Doyle Points playing Jakiro. Pings go out as they look to secure their jungle. There's not going to be any contest there. Oyoika not going to be moving up with any sentries at all. Sentries or obs at all to block camps. Everybody just headed to their own jungles. And Tankinger goes Stout, Quelling Blade, and Tangos. To start, a smoke is on Kodiak along with sentries. They can rotate as necessary. Doyle Points. He's got the wards. And the lanes will shore up the way that was expected. Rubex Q going to be hanging out in the jungle. No regen on him. But if you're not touched at all, that shouldn't be a problem. H's Prophet going headed toward the off lane. However, the problem here that LPNF will find is there's not really a reasonable way to rotate into the jungle. The Enigma is already there. If you move into these camps over here, you're cutting off the pull ability on your support. And that could make it kind of ugly if LPNF gets completely zoned out. Up top, without Enigma there to help out. Leshrac, he's slow on the draw in terms of the split earth. And trying to lock down Weaver with that going to be difficult, which means there's not really going to be any shutdown on Aoika. Maybe a little bit in terms of last hits, but he should have his levels no problem.
Regeneration.
So the lane should go just fine here for ground pound. We'll see how it turns out in the mid game though, as they translate that. And Big Meat Squad goes in for that great big 5-man push that they clearly want to do. You're not fooling anyone, Big Meat Squad, as there's trading of harass and Wonder Bread getting the better of that one. Coffee eating quite a bit of damage. Managed to avoid that Crypt Swarm just barely, fortunately for him. Has to be a bit careful there. But as we see, I expect LPNF, if Ground Pound can execute here, there shouldn't be a whole lot of experience going the way of LPNF. You often see the Prophet be just a bit annoying in the first minute or so, and then rotate to the jungle. No option here, as mentioned. Pings go out on the Treants as they look to stop those. Doesn't look like they're going to be there in time to stop that, so that'll be very nice to pull through. Not going to be using any spells here to lock them down. I think it would have been worth it throwing out an Ice Path. Only 90 mana. Not going to be using it for anything else anytime soon. And LPNF able to find himself some experience here, so that'll be nice. Up top, Eoika steals the farm, but gets stunned up by the Centaur and takes a lot of damage. But he can continue to stay here, but no, going to rotate and harass out the Enigma Rubex Cube. Trying to push him back, going to continue to contest this pull. Doesn't get the last hit there. Invis Rune there bottled up by Wonder Bread as he moves back in toward that mid lane. Check out the last hit so far, and right now Tenkin on top of the board, 13 last hits with 6 denies in towards mid. So far, Wonder Bread getting the better of the exchange. Not able to dodge that with the phase shift. As the Crypt Swarm lands, and a lot of experience again going the way of Eoika here. A little behind the Druid. They're not perfect there, but doing very nicely as an offlaner. LPNF has been able to pull through. Now trying to stop these Treants once again. Looks like they're going to have better luck this time around. They take down one. Good. Continue to pursue that. The one thing this is doing, though, is disrupting the pull. And that means these supports are not getting experience right now. And that's going to be a bigger trade. If they don't deal better with these Treants, then keeping the supports down at level 1, especially a support that I feel is a bit more level and farm dependent as Windrunner is. And you compare that up against the supports on the side of Big Meat Squad. We've got level 3 on the Shrek. We've got level 5 on Enigma. Big AT staying level 4. But level 5 on Tenkin, so some of that experience that we see here from Alita has been leached off of the safe lane carry farm. Puts him back just a little bit, but a big wave pushing in here for LPNF, and that'll be very nice for him. So managing to find his experience to avoid the need to rotate. They have a stack here, haven't been able to use it just as of yet. But they would like to pull that right here, and looks like that is what they should be doing. If we check out the progression, Coffee right now with just brown boots and a bottle, as Wonder Bread is getting the better of this lane by quite a large margin now. 27 last hits up against 11. Sitting on 1,000 gold right now with the brown boots and bottle that Coffee has, trying to continue to chase. The Crypt Swarm, no, just barely out of range, and Coffee able to get away as Eoika trades up here with the bear. Down bottom, Tenkin is going in for a Hand of Midas. He's 50 gold off of that. There we go. After this wave, he'll be able to go grab that from the side shop. Dream Coil used there on Wonder Bread under the tier 1. Go try and turn it around, but no way to bring her down. Now Tenkin could go grab that Midas from the side shop. And there it is. They're going to go the farm heavy build. We'll see if that ends up backfiring, as it depends on the timing that these pushes come out and the space that he can find. If he can get up a couple Couple big items, then it becomes worth it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Wonder Bread going to be bottle crowing as the illusion rune was denied there by Doyle points. Aoika gets entangled under the sentry ward down. He goes. Actually, was that during the fade time? No sentry. That was a weird little exchange there as it looked like the Shukuchi got off, but at the same time, the entangle was there. And Aoika, it's brought down a solo kill for Big AT. And he's got to be very happy with that one. LPNF sitting at level 5, doing well for himself. Support struggling still. Sitting at level 2 each. Smoke goes out. We'll see if something can happen. Don't know if that was in range of those tree ants to spot that.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Smoke is coming through. Let's see where they end up going.
Middle is missing.
As Wonder Bread has backed up, they may have spotted that. And doesn't look like this is going to work out as the smoke will wear off. Up top, the contest again from Aoika. As I hear a shackle there, they do find Wonder Bread as she goes for that rune. The dual breath, the invis rune, but not enough. Power shot off the mark. Wouldn't have been nearly enough damage anyway. Only at level 1 right now.
Top tower is under attack.
And that leaves this bottom lane down to be a 1v1. Of course, LPNF has to play it safe, being level 5 against this level 8 Lifestealer played by Tankin, who has opted for treads, not going the mobility route with the phase. And now a push looks like he's going to come in towards mid, but there is a disconnect now. Once again, as we saw in the early game out of LPNF. Reconnect now. We'll see if it sticks. Supports without boots as well, and I feel that's going to be the big story here is
Radiant structures.
the chasing, feeling obliged to chase around the tree ants, as there's a dream coil thrown out under the tower, but not really going to mean a whole lot. But Aoika now joining the fight gets some damage out on Wonder Bread, but the black hole on 3. Coffee gets low, Doyle points get low, phase shift out. Doyle points goes down with the Nature's Wrath bouncing through all 3. There's 3 now down. Aoika able to time-lapse back. No, the silence goes out to prevent the Sakuchi. Malefice stun as well. Aoika now able to Sakuchi away. 70 HP now. And will salve up. Alita will find him. The wind up there. Shukuchi. But Edict going to do a lot of damage. Aoika able to get away. Eats another tango. Trying to chase him down. Now runs into a bear. Turns around. Sentry Ward thrown down, but able to juke. Down to 59 HP. 20 HP. Shukuchi available again. Got under 10 HP. The silence goes out. Coffee distracts them back. No entangles now. Crypt Swarm over top of Coffee. Now taking right clicks. And Aoika, the great escape across the map. Did you follow that? Up and around and down and back and out again. All the way down the map. That's a hell of a run there. But that was a big fight in towards mid for Big Meat Squad Black Hole on 3. 2 of which go down. Once again, a disconnect out of LPNF. Armlet going to be the next item. No big surprise there out of Tankin. But as I was saying before, our big fight broke out in mid. I feel the big story in this game is going to be that the supports just did not have the levels or the farm that they need to compared to the big meat squad. They need to either most likely need to either punish or keep up with the lineup of Big Meat Squad. The Enigma just jungling non-stop, getting levels and farm, has mech. Soul Ring level 9. The Strack able to pull. Not nearly as much as just simply jungling the entire time, but solo pulling as open wounds here on Alita. Solo kill there from Tankin in his jungle. A little too aggressive out of Alita. Walks into a well-farmed Tankin. His Midas is off cooldown. Using Midas. Using Midas. Using Midas. There you go.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Get the tier 1 bottom during that, though. To compare the level 5 Alita with boots up against the level 4 now on Kodiak, and level 3 here on Doyle Points. Doyle Points doesn't even have boots right now, as we have a potential engagement. Kodiak in a bit of trouble. Entangle, is it there? No, not even a right click. Not quite in time. Aoika getting brave. As Coffee is invis, going to go for the courier. Will this cost him? Going to jaunt out with the orb. That was a very dangerous scenario, but able to get out of it just fine. Puck ever slippery. Tankin under 200 away from finishing his armlet. Up top, everybody pushing down. Do they have what they need? Does Ground Pound have what they need to fight this right now? I don't think they do, especially with this tower under half health. It's just gonna go. Power shot thrown out. The phase boots on the bear though. First hit entangle. Kodiak in a lot of trouble. Ice Path hits everybody, but it's too late. Death Prophet and the Exorcism able to bring her down. Aoika trying to hold off. Not the tankiest of fellows. Ice Path thrown out as well. Dream Coil. Alita will go down. Time lapse back out of Aoika. Still kind of low. Shackle goes out on just the bear. Black Hole goes out on Tankin and Aoika. Aoika, can he get out of this one? No. He'll go down. Tankin is there. Going to try and turn around this fight. He's up far, but he's alone. Malefice stun. Needs to rage in just a second, but the entangle's there, and that'll bring him down. Killing spree now on Wonder Bread, as the tier 3 is under siege. And this will be a tier 3. Will it be Rax? There's no buyback here on Tankin. There's the Fortify. TP back in from Coffee. Will this be enough to hold them back? All 5 are up and all 5 are full health. And decent amount of mana as well. Entangle up on Coffee. These entangles are everywhere. Coffee gets low. Malefice stun. Down Coffee goes. And will this then be Rax? Tankin going to be up in a second. Will it be in time? 5 seconds now. Exorcism is back up. This is going to be a lot of damage. It's just going to call this GG. Called 14 minutes, 40 seconds. And Big Meat Squad takes this series 2 games to 0. Commanding victory, going. Not being shy about their game plan. Clearly all push all the time. Make it happen in dramatic fashion. 14 minutes, 46 seconds, the final time in this game. Big Meat Squad taking it down 2-0 in this Week 3 Reddit Dota 2 League matchup. I'm Zeron for Terrible Damage, and I'll see you in the next match next time.